What is up, guys? JP McDowning here, joined by Grubby, and we're going straight into this match between Heart and Violet, a good old TV. First map's going to be Metropolis, and you know, you are a Protoss player, but you're actually very good at all the races. So going into this, Violet's just been really, I think, the standout player of this tournament so far.
Yeah, Violet may not have been the player that was catching the most attention from everyone, but has certainly done a lot to prove that he's one of the big boys here, ending out on a 4-2 score in third place in the round robin.
Right.
And he actually beat Heart earlier on in the round robin with a 2-1 score.
Right.
Now
right.
Heart has an 82% win rate in TVZ, and I was a little surprised by that because of the way some people talk about him as having a little bit of an all-in-ish cheesy kind of style. But I saw what all the hype was in Heart. He played amazing against Dongregul.
Right.
And
yeah. Those matches were ridiculous.
Yeah, and he plays really smart with his army positioning. That's definitely something to look out for as we go into this game. Even in standard situations, he uses his army in smart ways, like hiding behind smoke screens and being in places where the opponent doesn't expect it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that.
All right, well, we do need to introduce our players. Down here in the west-hand side of the map is going to be Empire Violet. Up here at the north will be Complexity Heart. And, you know, Complexity, coming into this tournament, not too many people were talking about Gonzi and Heart. The big talk of the tournament, obviously, was MKP, MC, DRG, and Parting.
Yeah.
And here's Complexity, now with both of their players still in this tournament. And they're playing so well. I mean, Gonzi got second in the pool.
Yeah.
Second. No one predicted him to do that
Despite
at all.
wrist injuries,
Yeah.
despite, you know, people not exactly thinking that he was going to get there. And second place, very, very well done by him. Now, Violet, he has chosen to scout with a drone and sees this funnily placed barracks, but it's nothing too special nowadays for a Terran to build their barracks not in the standard location. No real risk since Zergs always open up with a hatchery first. You reduce the marine travel time, you kind of create a bit of uncertainty within the Zerg mind about whether you're doing something funny, like maybe another barracks which is more well hidden, and so on.
Now, should be seeing Command Center here come down for Heart pretty soon, as he still has not added on gas. There's the hatch that you mentioned for Violet, and he did go pool first instead of gas first, so his speed will be somewhat delayed on those lings, but regardless, once he gets the spine crawler down, I'm sure that Heart will be opening up Hellions. I'll be very, very surprised if he does not. Violet should be able to deal with them.
Yeah, probably going to throw up a first and a second refinery in his main base shortly hereafter. First going to add a supply depot. There we see the first refinery, and as his minerals hit 75, we're likely to see him take the second one.
Yep.
Now Heart, I saw him play against, I believe it was Dongregul on this map. The way he opened up was exactly like this, and then he added this factory and the reactor, obviously. He made 4 Hellions, and Dongregul was going with this style of delayed gas, quick 4 queens to get a lot of creep spread, and he also used 1 spine crawler to defend.
Right.
Now, the Heart, he kind of said, okay, I'll call your bluff. You think you can defend with that, and you're used to Terrans not really committing their Hellions in the Zerg base anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. He ran in with the 4 Hellions, and he got 12 drone kills.
Wow.
Following it up with the Cloak Banshee, who also got a lot of kills. And then he went for Mech, Thor's Hellions.
Wow.
It didn't work out in the end. Dongregul came back, but it was a strong opening gambit. However, Violet has been playing it differently. We see that he's added a Roach Warren, as you just showed.
Right. Now, that's kind of an interesting thing that a lot of Terrans do so many different things with. For Heart to go up with that many Hellions is pretty, I would say, uncharacteristic of Terrans. A lot of them do not like playing that risky, because if you lose all of those Hellions and don't get those important drone kills, you are so far behind. Oh, and
Oh, second factory already. Oh, this is most likely first going to signify a double reactor Hellion opening.
Right, right. If he adds on these 2 gas pretty soon, it will be some mech play here. But there is the first, and he's going to go Blue Flame.
So he's going to make reactor Hellions from his first factory, and he's going to make Blue Flame from his second factory.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, we'll see how that works out for him, but there's some roaches coming. Violet is always doing this in a lot of
very
his
aggressive. We see just 22 drones and 5 roaches on the field. And then he's gone back to droning. So these roaches are to do some damage. They're not all in. He wants to maybe break through the bunker and kill some SCVs. And also get information about what the opponent is doing. Now we're gonna have to see how quickly Hart will pull SCVs to repair all this, because he already completed the full wall off, so there's not that much that that the Roaches can do at this point.
And if he chips away at destructible debris, there's not going to be anything Hart can really do to block that. Even with the Hellions coming out, they don't really do anything against those Roaches. So at this point, Hart might just run by, and yeah, that's exactly what he's going to do with these Hellions. He knows that the Roaches are primarily at his natural, and somewhat of a late spine crawler here, Grubby.
Yeah, I don't think Violet was ready for this at all. This is going to hurt him a lot. Moreover, Hart has the ability to make a siege tank. Normally, maybe he would have queued a Hellion, but now he's making a tank. Tanks are great against Roaches, and now we see the Hellions going into the Zerg main base, and they're getting their first drone kill. There's a second, now getting a third and a fourth, and they're nowhere near being finished off. We don't see Speedlings out. Roaches are kind of slow to come out, and now loads of drones are being toasted, and this is just terrible for Violet.
Yeah, he is getting a lot. Oh, and he actually is now worried about his naturals. The Roaches have slipped in here, and now it is Violet racking up the kills here, already up to 8 SCVs. The tank is not doing anything over here at the natural because he's dealing with keeping his Hellions alive, and Violet actually cleaned that up.
That went way better for Violet than it should have. We really saw Hart kind of losing control of his Hellions as they were attacking Queens for a while, and the tank being very slow to join the party. And now if we take a look at the total worker kills, we see actually Violet killing 11 and Hart killing 13. It's not good for Violet by any means. This hurt him more than it helped him, but it's way better than it could have been.
And 2 more factories coming in for Hart here as he adds on his 3rd and 4th refinery. Might even see him throw down 3rd command center here pretty soon. That is a lot of SCVs queued up. That's something that a lot of Terran players are just doing at this tournament for some reason. They queue up way too many units.
Yeah, that's true. We saw that in Ganji, who was at 19 minutes 3 base with just 4 barracks. But yeah, as you predicted, we see a full-on mech play from Hart. 4 factories now and with an armory. And one thing I've seen him do is at some point he stops making SCVs. If we take a look now at the production tab, no SCVs being queued at this moment, or maybe it's because he was supply blocked, but I just want to say before he was stopping SCVs for a while against Dongregul and then just attacked, but then he did make a 3rd command center as he was moving out. So he has macro plans, he has long game plans, but he wants to maximize the power of his punch at a certain time in the game where it might be hard for the Zerg to fend off at that particular time. So very curious to see what kind of timing he's going to hit here, how many Thors, how many tanks and Hellions will he move out with, and it might be hard for Violet because Violet's been continually producing army on and off. So he's not really getting ready for any particular timing.
Yeah, and the other thing too is with these Blue Flame Hellions out, it's going to be pretty hard for him to sneak in an expansion. We even saw him doing it right there. If it gets down, the hatchery starts being built, then it will obviously complete because Hellions are not going to be able to do anything to that hatchery unless we have some tanks or Thors get cross map.
Yeah, that's true. Hellions will take down a hatchery very, slowly indeed. But nice!
He gets it at the last second. One lone Hellion.
That's the kind of thing I mean. Okay, you got 8 Hellions, you can kind of posture around the front, but that one Hellion there, that's a big delay on the expansion, and that's just so smart. That's the kind of thing Hart does, man.
And finally, that hatchery going down. Hart pulling ahead supply-wise here, but of course that is because he has so many Thors coming out, tanks, getting a lot of Hellions here already out on the map. When will he go for an attack, though? How many Hellions is he currently
I
up to?
assume
14?
that Hart is going to move out when his first vehicle attack upgrade is about 80%, so that it would about finish as he attacks. I don't see him just waiting that long in order to get a second attack. This would be a very strong timing. Already 30 supply ahead in attack, and Hellions almost in the kind of numbers that they can take out these Roaches.
Yeah, you know, when you see Hellions come up and get a Roach to half HP, you know something is going on with their count here. Look at them actually take that one out, as that's not something you would expect, but those Hellions in huge numbers like that are really strong against almost anything. Oh, that's so smart, though, coming in for Violet, making sure that the mech count doesn't get too crazy here in the opening of this match.
Yeah, taking out one factory for a while, that's definitely something that will help him. If we take a look at Violet's strategy choice, he has actually chosen to add a 4th hatchery with the philosophy of like, okay, well, my 3rd hatchery is a full on 1.5 minutes later than I would like to have had it. I'm just going to compensate and adding a 4th one. But that will decrease his strength at this particular time until it starts to kick in.
Yeah, the other thing too, I mean, Mech is just very immobile compared to the Bioforces, so he could probably get this up and mine from it until this attack comes out for Hart. Hart's going for a very strong 2-base attack here not getting a third command center or anything like that.
Yeah, not adding any SCVs anymore at this point either. Is starting to queue up his second attack, but it seems like he's ready now, and there's just no way at all that Violet can hold this. Even now queuing up 12 additional drones. So Violet needs to identify this moving out. He will notice in the middle of the map, and he has to trade base. He has to send those roaches on the right, top side there, and go trade base. These roaches will get taken out exceedingly easily.
I love what Hart actually just did. He delayed a lot of this force until like the last possible moment to move forward. And now Violet's a little bit scared, and he is going for that base trade scenario. He slips straight into the natural here, but oh, Grubby, there's so much stuff here for Hart going into the natural Violet.
Yeah, and Violet is very, very far away from even having the slightest sliver of a chance of defending this. This base trade is the best thing he can do at this moment, but where will it stop? Violet will take down Hart's base quite slowly, does have a supply lead, but he is locked effectively inside his base. Did not break the rocks between the second and the third base yet, and as all these drones are getting toasted, so is Violet's hope of ever getting a decent economy anymore. A full-on base trade ensues, and Hart lifts off and goes to the island.
Yeah. The one nice thing about this map is that there is an island up here, and also the fact that Hart's playing Terran, so you can access it.
Nice for Hart, and not so much for Violet.
Hart chose the right race, Grubby.
Yeah, for this
right here,
for this map.
So everything just getting demolished here for Violet. He's going to take out the rest of these depots here.
Now, one nice thing that Violet is doing, he researched burrow and is using it now. So these drones, they're burrowed here, and with all the orbitals lifting off, momentarily, Hart does not have scan. Now, the Heliots are torching the drones by virtue of their splash
he
damage.
knows it. He knows.
Do you think he does?
I think so, yeah. Well, can he actually you can see that, right?
No, you can't actually see it when they don't move, but... Oh, he knows now because he saw so many bodies, so he might have been aiming for more of them. Well, and as his orbitals land on the island, he could do a scan as well, because if he leaves drones behind there, that's going to help Violet in this base trade situation.
Yeah, one thing actually that I didn't really think about is if he's playing on low graphics, I don't know if that animation shows up of the drones actually burning like that. So,
well, I think you still see a corpse appearing.
Okay. Well,
now Violet throwing down hatcheries everywhere. 3 hatcheries being built on the east side of the map.
Yep. And he's still mining from over here. The big thing too is look at the supply. 69 of 22. It's going to be a while before Hart is going to be able to produce, but he has mules, Grubby, and mules are pretty good because they cost no supply and they just mine so damn much.
Yeah, this game is all but a foregone conclusion. It does seem like Violet is light years away from being able to somehow get air tech out, so he cannot physically get to the island. He does not have drop research. It will take a long time for him to be able to do that. So, and now we kind of see why the original Metropolis version did have creep on the island, because you wouldn't be able to do something like this. And now Blizzard changed the version with just rocks, but that allows a Terran to win any base trade situation where everyone is cast back to the Stone Age in terms of their technological tree.
Yeah, and a fungal going down on those Helens, but the Infestor was taken out. And
that was the last Infestor there was. Now we've just got 15 drones and 18 roaches.
Oh no! In this, whoa! Okay, actually.
Whoa! Did he see that?
Let's
take a look at the vision.
View real quick. Yes.
He did actually see it.
I'm not sure why he didn't go. I think the roaches popped up there when the siege tanks were not in siege mode, so he was a little bit fearful. But he's actually mining again over here, and he's throwing down a roach horn. He had a lot of minerals as well, but so does Hart over here, and I believe he does have his 4 factories.
Where is Hart building supply depot? It must be at the south side of the map, isn't it?
Right, yeah, right here.
He's just got 1 SCV, and every supply depot he'll make, he can call down supply from the orbital. If he didn't have that SCV, Hart would never be able to create a single SCV.
Right.
And then he wouldn't be able to make supply depots, and then he wouldn't actually be able to make anything extra.
That's actually such a great point. That now Hart, I mean, both players are kind of getting back in this game, but Hart's army, as we look at the army supply there, 60 to 38.
Yeah. Hart's playing a little bit too scared, I think. Time is not helping him as much as he might think. There's a very small army from Violet on the field. The thing is, if Violet had somehow been able to kill that SCV, this would be a different story. Now, Hart is soon going to reach positive supply again, and then he can use those 4 factory of his to start increasing his unit lead once again.
So right now, I mean, both players are a little bit hesitant to move out Heart because he knows that there are burrowed roaches out on the field. And actually the harvester count here for Violet is getting pretty high.
Yeah,
already
not
up
too
to
bad.
30.
30 drones
Off 2
spread
base.
out over 3 bases.
Oh yeah, 3 bases.
And he's actually started roach production. So if we take a look at the army value,
Oh my. I actually
He's
just
getting
got
closer.
chills, man. What if Violet
yeah.
is able to come back and win this game? The supply is almost at 100 compared to the 66 of Heart. If he could actually take out those Thors and engage where the siege tanks are not in siege
Right.
mode, he will win this game, guys. This is, I thought it was over, but Violet's clawing back.
Yeah, we don't have tunneling claws, do we, on roaches? Or maybe
Oh,
we
we
do.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So we've got tunneling claws, and that's definitely something that's going to help him. Now, this overseer spotted.
He's trying to get a Raven out here, Grubby, so he can move across the map and not be caught off guard by those roaches.
Good point. Nice tip for you noobs out there, no offense. Tech Lab being built on starport. It doesn't actually get halted when you put the goop on the starport. Should he have put it on the... Can you do that? I'm not sure.
I'm not. We'll have to ask TLO.
Yeah.
He knows everything about this game.
But it did not help, so there's been no delay. Oh, Cloaked Banshee.
Cloaked
Tricky.
Banshee.
Now, there was a tech lab spotted by the Overseer on the starport, so very excellently Violet is now adding an evolution chamber.
Yeah, yeah, because of course he is not on Lair Tech at the moment.
Yeah, he has to rely on those spore crawlers.
But look how many
A lot
roaches
of roaches
he's
on
up
the
to.
field already.
I'm like to
37 roaches.
Man. This game, if you can believe that the players spawn here, and now on the other hand side of the map.
Would you believe us?
I don't know. This game is shaping up to be quite wild here, as this is Heart's only mining base at the moment. I'm not sure why he doesn't lift this off and try to go get another base going, but I guess Violet.
Yeah, he
actually
does
has
have a lot of
overlords everywhere.
overlords.
Yeah. You can see if we go into his view.
Everything except the middle base here. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So here is that Banshee.
No spore crawler yet. Now will Burrow summon, make a spore. It won't actually finish with the Banshee there lording over it. And no cancel there.
Heart cannot actually move out right here. If he moves out, Violet's going to have the perfect position on him.
It's kind of a catch-22 though. He can't really wait either. He's mining a lot less than Violet.
Right. Income-wise, 33 to 17. But Violet getting a little bit aggressive there with his roaches. But these siege tanks up on the high ground are going to make sure that he cannot come in. Will he start a Raven? No, he's not. So he's pretty happy.
Interesting.
With just
I think
here.
your plan was actually better to make a Raven because
He can
time
move
is
around.
working against him. Yeah.
It really is. Yeah. Has he seen?
Yeah. What does Hart know? He actually knows about all of this. So interesting. Of course, Banshees cannot be attacked by roaches. That's something
Right.
that helps. So we've seen Violet tech to tier 2. He's now researching drops and Overlord speed. Nothing to deal with the Banshees yet, besides the defensive Spore Crawler and Queens. Banshees will be able to poke holes here. They've got Cloak, they will take down the Squeed in record speed. No additional Queens being added yet. Queen luckily survived, and now they're taking down a lot of drones. And I feel like not enough spores yet, earlier on by Violet.
Yeah, he didn't really make all that
Oh,
much.
actually he has no spores at all here. I'm very, very... Oh, there we go, yeah.
He got one, yeah, but it's unburrowed, so he can't, of course, see. Well, now he can't get landed, but... I think Violet actually messed up. He should have been a lot better prepared here at this new main base of his.
Yeah, and this was the most
advantage.
important one.
It really is, yeah, because this is where all of his tech lies. So
Now he's gonna lose his Roach Warren.
Will he just go, did he get his drop gonna be?
Yeah, it's,
okay,
it's,
yeah,
it's
drop will be
75%.
50 roaches, Grubby.
50 roaches,
Army
51.
size 106 to 64, but he cannot engage. Oh, he's actually on siege, but
Yeah,
he
he
has
does
no way
Violet.
of knowing that.
Yeah.
Too bad he doesn't have our view, right?
No Roach Warren being recreated yet at the very top rightmost base of Violet. I saw before that he kind of lost his composure when MC was attacking him with Void Rays and Phoenixes. We kind of see the same thing again. He kind of chokes up when he's being attacked by an Air Force with which he doesn't have, against which he doesn't have a mobile standing army. And once again, he's just making Spore Crawlers, really not doing anything else. No expansions, no Queens, no mobile force that can take this out. And Hart is utilizing this weakness in Violet's play very much.
Oh, Grubby, this is going to be the move that decides this game here. About to see how many Overlords are taken out here. Only 2 Thors, though, so they're not going to be able to kill it. I think that Violet might just win right here, Grubby.
I think
as
you're
the
right,
drop is
JP.
landing
Big
and
drop here.
everything is getting destroyed for Heart. The Roach is dealing so much damage. All that remains are these two Thors. Army supply. 18
Oh
to
my
70 of
god!
Violet. Are you kidding me? He just came back and won that game, Grubby. What? What?
You don't do that, Violet. You don't. I mean, someone needs to tell Violet that you can't actually do that, and then he'll say, "But I just did."
That's demoralizing to lose that way for Heart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well done by Violet. He
Yeah.
knew he couldn't stop the tide of neck.
incredibly well done. Yeah, and the other thing, going back to those Banshees, do you still think that the Raven was the right way? Because he could not move with his force
Yeah.
there. And, you know, even though Violet had drop, or even though he's losing his bases, he got drop, and that's all he needed. I think that's all he wanted from that, really.
Yeah, that's true. So, Heart,
Huh.
you have this situation as a player whereby you are ahead, and as time passes, you get more and more behind.
Right.
So you
right.
need to solve the one biggest problem that you have, and that was Burrow. And the fact that he didn't have vision of roaches, he couldn't know where and how to engage.
Right.
And tanks and 2 Thors and 5 tanks with 2 attack upgrades against a small amount of roaches, they do not necessarily need to be sieged up. Maybe when the fight starts you siege up 1 or 2 tanks, but they're actually really quite good still. Roach quite beefy, so it's not as important to have siege against a unit like a Roach, which do not cluster up quite as much as a Zergling or a Baneling. And yeah, he really just needed to start moving out. 3 bases against 1, of which the mining was long distance.
Yeah, you know, as you were telling that, I was like, Heart just won this, right? There's no way Violet
Yeah.
could have came back in that game, but
There was a way, Violet found it, he wormed his way
Man.
through that path of solutions, and that's such an important win, because